Welcome to the story of Sidna, a young woman who embraces the darkness and beauty of Goth fashion. In her world, black isn't just a color, it's a statement of identity and possibility. But her mother Abigail sees things differently. She wants Sidna to dress more conventionally, especially when representing the family business. The tension between them is palpable as Abigail presents a green dress, hoping her daughter will compromise her style for the sake of the business success. But Sidna stands firm. For her, black represents the unknown, the canvas of possibility where anything can be created. She's an artist at heart. She refuses to compromise her identity for anyone. As she walks to school, she encounters Bridget, who offers her a ride. Sidna declines, believing Bridget looks down on her because of her appearance. But what Sidna doesn't realize is that Bridget is fighting her own battle, struggling under the weight of expectations about how she should look and represent her family's business. As Bridget receives a call from her mother Jane about preparing a speech at the auditorium, and Cinda heads there for an art session. Their paths are about to intersect in an unexpected way. Both young women are about to discover what they have more in common than they have ever imagined. At the auditorium, the harsh reality of Bridget's life becomes clear. Her mother Jane criticizes her appearance, calling her restless and baggy-eyed, demanding she clean herself up. The treatment is brutal. Jane takes away Bridget's breakfast croissant, forces her to drink a yogurt pack instead, and makes cutting remarks about not wanting a fat daughter. She hands Bridget a speech to memorize for an important company announcement. They're sponsoring prom with a vacation to Bali for the prom king and queen, part of the recruitment initiative to attract high school graduates. When Jane leaves, Bridget breaks down. Sidna witnesses this vulnerable moment and realizes she's been wrong about Bridget all along. In an act of unexpected kindness, she throws her breakfast croissant to Bridget. This simple gesture opens the door to a real conversation between them. Bridget is surprised. She thought Sidna hated her. But Sidna admits she was just jealous, assuming Bridget was judging her when really Bridget was just trying to meet impossible expectations. Their conversation turns to Sidna's love of black. She explains her philosophy beautifully. Darkness represents the unknown, and from that unknown comes possibility and opportunity to create. As an artist, she sees black not as depressing, but as the canvas for infinite potential. Inspired by this new understanding and their shared struggles, Cinda makes a bold suggestion. What if they work together on something new for prom night? Something that would surprise both their mothers and show them a different way forward. Bridget is intrigued but nervous. Her mother would kill her if she found out. But Cinda has a plan that could benefit both their families' businesses, while staying true to who they are. She proposes Goth prom night, with a theme called Glamour and Gore, a perfect blend of elegance and fierceness. This creative and innovative approach would bring different exposure and publicity to their mother's companies, showing that beauty doesn't have to be viewed linearly. Bridget loves the thinking behind it. The open-mindedness could actually attract more people to their companies, showing their progressive and creative side. They agree to meet at the park after Bridget speaks to start planning in earnest. At the park, their brainstorming sessions takes flight. Senna suggests Frankenstein's lair as the theme, and Bridget immediately sees the potential. For the gore aspect, it's perfect, and for glamour, she suggests using radioactive gel. Senna is thrilled with the idea. They can work with the chemistry class to create cool radioactive gel in white, silver, and black, a color palette that's not too colorful, but still glamorous. Bridget recognizes something important. Fashion companies typically view beauty in a linear way, but this approach is both creative and trendy. It breaks the mold while still being appealing. They're onto something special, something that could change how people think about fashion and self expression. As they work on outfit designs and find promotion models to showcase their theme, Sidna opens up about her hopes for the event. She doesn't need a perfect relationship with her mother. She just wants it to be functional and peaceful. She wants her mother to understand her a little more. Bridget relates deeply, joking about living with a prison warden, and they share a moment of laughter and connection. They're not just planning an event anymore. They're building a friendship based on mutual understanding and shared dreams. The night before Goth prom night, the tension builds. Jane warns Bridget not to embarrass her. While Abigail asks Sidna to dress normally for once, Abigail explains that while she wants to understand her daughter, the world isn't open minded, and they need to please others for the company to grow. But Sidna responds with wisdom beyond her years. The world changes every day, and sometimes it's important to take a risk and show another way. Abigail is proud of her strong, independent thinker, but she still asks for cooperation just this once. Sidna promises she won't disappoint her mother, though not in the way Abigail expects. On the day of the event, both girls wear normal attire temporarily. Bridget confirms that a team worked overnight to create the actual decorations. Everything is in place. The stage is set for a transformation that will change everything. As the event begins, Sidna is shaking with nerves, worried about her mother's reaction. But Bridget reassures her they've got this. They raise strong daughters, and it's time to show it. Jane gives her speech to the student body about the fashion company supporting youth and providing access to new fashion trends. She announces that the prom winners will be revealed at midnight. But then she notices what the girls are wearing and reacts with shock. Abigail reminds Sidna of her promise, disappointment clear in her voice. But Bridget grabs the students' attention and makes the dramatic announcement, Goth prom night. Both mothers look at the CEO in confusion, having no idea what's happening, but the CEO tells them to wait and see how it plays out. And what unfolds is nothing short of spectacular. Sidna and Bridget reveal their final preparations. A hidden room under the decorations transforms into Frankenstein's lair, filled with crazy lab experiments and colorful potions. Students unveil their clothing underneath their normal attire, showcasing a new and trendy golf style that's dark and gritty, but glamorous. The Frankenstein experiment room allows students to design their own clothes and try them on the spot. The radioactive gel is a huge hit, adding a much needed glamour over their dark tone. The CEO is impressed, seeing new department and growth potential. She wants both mothers and their daughters to headline this new direction. It's a triumph beyond anything they imagined. In the aftermath of their success, the emotional walls come down. Jane apologizes to Bridget, calling her pumpkin for the first time in a long while. She explained that she was hard on her daughter because she never wanted the world to hurt her. Bridget understands, but she reassures her mother that she is strong and doesn't need to worry. Jane holds her daughter tightly, finally seeing her for who she truly is. Sidna apologizes to her mother for not keeping her promise in the way Abigail expected, but Abigail stops her. She tells Sidna never to apologize for being herself. She's sorry for not trusting her own daughter, for being overprotective, for not giving her more creative space to be who she is. Sidna thanks her mother for always being there and protecting her, understanding that it all came from a place of love. Our story concludes with Sidna and Bridget crowned the Goth prom queens. Their dedication and willpower to be themselves opened a new creative path for their mother's company and inspired their fellow students. They proved that authenticity And creativity aren't obstacles to success, they're the foundation of it. By staying true to themselves and supporting each other, they change not their own lives, but the lives of everyone around them. Thank you for listening to the story of the Goth Prom Queens.